I recently had a client ask how important an open house is to the sale of their listing. And the last stat I saw was just under 3% of people who bought a house last year bought it because they saw it at an open house and then purchased it. The overwhelming majority of people who bought a house last year saw it online first. So, a couple of things you have to do right online. One is when you list a house in the multiple listing service, there's 193 data fields. A lot of agents will only fill in half of them, including, for example, the schools. A lot of people will do specific searches online and they'll say, I want a house that feeds to a certain school. If you don't fill in the school data field, your house doesn't show up on that search. So just basic completion of the listing input sheet and getting it input properly is huge. Second thing is pretty obvious, good photos. You can't take a cell phone and take dark, grainy cell phone images of half of a room. You need to have really good photos that are staged properly. All of that matters a ton. And then the last thing you got to make sure you do is that as the house syndicates across the internet, so it'll start in the MLS and it'll syndicate to Zillow and Redfin and Trulia and all these different websites. Sometimes the data gets garbled, like a house will show up on Zillow, the listing, the new listing, some of the data will show up, but pictures from the house from 15 years ago will show up on Zillow and some of these other websites, and you're not seeing the new fancy photos with all the remodeling, etc. So there's some fundamental kind of administrative stuff you got to do right to get the internet right, but that's far more important than an open house.